Have you ever asked yourself, why am I not happy? Kissing, like probably more than I'd like to admit. And what I have to realize is that we're not made to be happy. We're not granted happiness. Happiness is not necessarily a through line of our lives. We're made to strive for things. They've done a lot of studies on like how dopamine works and this whole like teeter-totter of the dopamine pain balance. And what they found is that the higher you increase your dopamine, this like feel good neuron, whatever it is, I don't care what it is. The thing that makes you feel good, dopamine, the higher it goes, the more likely you are to crash after. And we live in this world where we're on this constant dopamine high. We're constantly just being flooded with all of these neurons and these neurotransmitters and all of these things that like make our brains light up. And when your brain is just kind of like inundated with all of these dopamine spiking things, no wonder we aren't happy. No wonder we feel that constant crash, because on this dopamine teeter-totter, the higher this goes, which is pretty constant for us, the lower we're going to crash. So we have to strive for things. We have to set ourselves out with intentions. We have to go and seek things and then work to find them. We have to have the concept of progress. And they've actually, in studies, found that the more that we chase after something, the more dopamine we feel. Like the dopamine is in the chase. And that's why sometimes, like at the beginning of relationships, you feel all lovey-dovey and mushy-gushy and the chase is fun. And that's because you're striving for something. You haven't gotten it yet. That's why whenever you are training with a team and you have all these practices, yeah, the winning part is fun, but like the dopamine, the waiting for the winning, that's where it's built up in. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Like way back a long time ago when we were hunters and gatherers, we had to like constantly seek things to sustain our lives. And it just so happens that in the world that we live in, we no longer have to seek those things. They're just kind of like readily available, including entertainment. And so our brains haven't really come a long way in terms of being able to decipher what should give us dopamine and what shouldn't. And so we live in this dopamine spike almost incessantly. And possibly the way to combat that is to set a long-term goal. Set something that's kind of far off in the distance and allow yourself to like work towards it. You're going to build up this dopamine reservoir in your body as you're working towards that thing. And it feels good. It feels good to have a target. It feels good to have a path and a purpose. That alone can kind of like shake up the mundanity a little bit. And so when you ask yourself, why am I not happy? Well, you're not granted happiness. You're not supposed to always be happy. So in order to find it, strive after something. Look for something that could make your life better. Add some sense of value to your life. Learn a new language. Play a new sport. Teach yourself a new craft. Start going to certain classes. So go and fight for your happiness. It's not going to be given to you. You have to go and kind of make it happen. Make happiness happen.